So a tough act to follow, but not for our next guest, Monte Ross, joining us right now. And first of all, I know we're all talking today about this year, but I can't ignore a 25-win season and an appearance in the NCAA tournament without, first of all, saying congratulations to you and ask you to reflect back on how terrific last year really was.
Well, you're the first person that's asked me to reflect back on it. It was tremendous. It was absolutely tremendous. And, you know, when you had a group of guys that we had that were just so much fun to be around, so much fun to coach on a daily basis, it made that culmination of winning a championship that much sweeter. And I'd say that, I was along for the ride with those guys because they were so talented and so special. But, they put their egos aside, and our chemistry was so good. And I think that's what's really was so impressive about that group.
Yeah, but being very humble, a 25-win season doesn't just come along without some great coaching. Now, we talk about the celebration, and why not? You had a great run through it. Unfortunately, the reality also says you lose about 70 points a game. Charlie, I don't think I've ever talked to a coach who's lost that much scoring. So now we have to turn to the reality of this year and give us a look forward to what we expect at Delaware this season.
Well, the biggest thing I think for us is for all of our pregame meals, there will be no soda, no juice. So it's only be milk, because we have to have these guys grow up very fast. It's different. It's different. Obviously, our practices are, longer just by the nature of we have to teach every single thing. We have 9 freshmen and sophomores, and every single thing that we do. It used to be the last couple of years. It was okay. We're going to run this drill. Everybody went to their spots and knew where to go. But now we have to teach every single thing that we're doing. But it's a welcome challenge. It's one of those things that happens in college basketball, and we're all looking forward to the challenge that's ahead of us.
Well, Monte, one of the things that I noticed the most about your team last year, I really thought your kids knew what their role was. Each one of them, extremely talented players, but all of them were willing to accept their role, and they knew what other guys' roles were. Mm-hmm. And I thought that's what won the tournament for you, quite honestly. They made the right play to the right guy at the right time.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's very nice of you to say. We put them in those roles, but they accepted those roles, and that was the key, like you just said.
Well, and I think the question becomes now with in terms of leadership, you got one guy back, and I think he's a terrific player, Kyle Anderson. But will he be your leader on the floor this year?
Absolutely, positively. Yeah. He has to be. Mm-hmm. Kyle is somebody that has, since the day he stepped on campus, he's won. Mm-hmm. He's averaged 21 wins. He has 62 wins in 3 years. And he's the perfect example to teach the lessons to our younger guys on what it takes to not only be a winning team, a winning program, but a championship team and a championship program. So there's no better person to set the example and to teach the younger guys exactly what it takes on a daily basis in practice to get to the level where we want to get to in March.
A couple of other guys who got some time and some valuable minutes last year, Marvin King-Davis and Devon Pinkard. How much did that experience going to help them this year, and are they ready to carry a bigger load?
Well, they have to be. They have to be. And one of the things that I preach to them constantly, before and after practice is, at one point in your life, at some point in your life, it's your turn. What you do with your turn is up to you. Now it's these guys, it's Devon Pinkard's turn. It's Marvin King-Davis's turn. It's Kyle Anderson's turn to be a focal point and not be just one of the periphery guys. So now, what will they do with their turn? It's up to us as coaches to put them in the best position possible, and then they have to take advantage of their turn.
Which one of your new players will be impactful to your team this year, or will there be any?
Well, no, we'll have to be. We'll have a freshman start at point guard. Mm-hmm. I think Corey Holden will be the guy that, with the ball in his hands the most and have to make decisions. And I probably won't have a full head of hair like I have right now after this season. But, we're going to have to live with those mistakes that, he's going to make and our backup freshman point guard, Anthony Mosley, is going to make. I think Savarsi Corbett is a talented freshman from Tampa, Florida, battling a little knee injury right now. So we're going to have guys that are going to have the opportunity to step up.
Monte, doing games at the Carpenter Center over the years, one of the things I've noticed that I think has been terrific is we heard Tina Martin before you joined us. there's a great relationship between the men's and women's programs, and let's be honest, it's a great challenge. Elena Deladon was a tremendous presence at that university, and Tina Martin and that whole entire team did great things, but the men's team supported them all the way, and I know the same thing happened last year during your great run. How much has that impacted the entire Delaware community, the way these two programs have had these success these last 4 or 5 years?
Well, it's been very unique for me because I think Tina was somebody that really grabbed me from day one and said, look, whatever you need, I'm there for you. And I really appreciated that. We used to always joke about one another about not giving the other one the keys to the roof when we had a bad game. And, you know, we've always been supportive of them. They've always been supportive of us. We've always, you know, even before we had this beautiful practice facility, we had one gym, and Tina and I never had any conflicts on how to work out the times and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's just the type of person, type of character that she has, and I hope that's the type of character that I have, that we can just always work together, and it feeds off into our teams and feeds off into the community as well.
Very quickly before we let you go, I know you start with 5 games away from home, including Stanford and Villanova. I guess you'll get a pretty good answer about your team in the first few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the time we get home, everybody better have their programs because you won't know who we are. So hopefully they'll have their programs and they'll be able to tell who we are.
Monte, once again, congratulations on a marvelous season last year, and we certainly wish you well this year again.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Monte Ross, 9th year at the University of Delaware.